Boom! We are live. 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 Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. We are finally here. What am I doing? I'm dragging loads of stuff along with me. Excellent. Nope, can't move my chair without hitting something. Well, been running around like mad for the last hour trying to get Sling Studio to work, which is this is the hub and a load of other equipment that goes with it. Trying to get that to work for the live stream. Nah, it's not having it. You get an error message saying the output of the camera, regardless if we put it on the 80D or the C100, is 720 by something and 50 frames per second, which isn't in line with TV standards. So, we're back today with the old iPhone. Right, let me just sort some bits and bobs out. Hopefully, get lights. I'll just wait for you guys to all join in. Bom, 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 bom. So it's been a bit manic. So we'll get it sorted one day. One day we will get it sorted. Hello everyone. Why can I not move forward or backwards without serious implications? It'd be nice, wouldn't it, if that wasn't the issue. We're going to get it sorted one day. It'll be all good. Thought we were going to have it this week. This turned up about 2 hours ago. Spent an hour on it. We're supposed to have multiple cameras and everything going on. That has not happened. So, yeah. Now, let's just double check to see how many people have left us an audio message. Let's have a little look, shall we? Account. How do we see this? Activity. No one. Okay, so that's 0 people have downloaded the Anchor app and sent us a message. So we'll probably can that one. Footplates here. Rich Skull's in, which is all good. Or any word from Gotway on making upgraded pads for the M Super X? The current pads, as you know, are really poor quality. I haven't really found any issues with them, to be honest. They're thin. They're thin and they're probably stuck a little bit too high. If they were stuck on properly, that might help. It's almost like they're plonked a little bit too high. But what have I done mine now? 70. I've done 70 miles so far. But obviously, as we discussed before, we start doing the initial review, and then we do the 3-month review, 6-month review, and 12-month review. We actually might change that slightly. Might change it to mileage. So we might do the initial review, 250 miles in, because this makes more sense with miles, doesn't it? Because I might not use it for 12 months. You know, that could be that scenario, couldn't it? Got so many wheels to test. So we'll probably do it like this: initial review, 250 mile review, and then probably a 650 mile review, and then 1,000 miles. So once it's covered those, and then we can feed back and see what the weak points are, what the good points are, etc., etc. So yeah, that's what we'll probably do. So it was going to originally be 3 months, 6 months, 12-month review. We might just say, well, let's just not do that. 250, 600, 650, 1,000. And then we can truly tell how good that wheel is, or any wheel. For instance, this MCM5's next to me. Whoa! Clifford Van Slimming donated $2.29 through Super Chat. Thank you very much, very kind. So anyway, let me pop back up and actually review the questions. The audio will get a lot better. I say we've got amazing equipment that we invested in really, really heavily in. I mean, this is really expensive, Sling Studio. Only available in USA and Canada, but we had it imported. Had to get it drop shipped somewhere else and then imported to us to get around that. And that will open up the possibility of having 10 cameras, and you can integrate things like iPods and iPads. Anyway, let's get off that for now, but it will get better. Anywhere from Gotway has done that one already. Footplates here, Rich Skull, by the way. If you haven't seen it already, go to our YouTube channel, right click, open a new tab, go to Speedy Feet channel and see our ride out. That is definitely worth watching. It was brilliant fun. So we do this, talking about the ride outs, we intentionally release the date we're going to do a ride out. We'll do a ride out at right at the last minute. So this weekly live show is where it will be announced, and then on the Friday we say where we're going to meet. So by the way, someone's just subscribe. You can't see it, it's hidden by the MCM5. I'll move that in a minute. The counter's over there. Good. It's gone up a lot since last week. If you checked last week, so the numbers are going up, which is all good. Bigger reach for the EUC world. Yeah, so it'll be announced on the Wednesday what day we're doing it, and then the Friday a picture goes up or a video, the location we're going to meet at, and then on the day we hang around. It's prompt arrival. Me and John were late last week because we were trying to throw, we've got a game, a really good game. I advise you all to start this game, right? I've been doing this for years and I dragged John into it. If you've got a mate round and you want to make a cup of tea, because we British people like making cups of tea, you put the cups out. You cannot have a cup of tea until you've thrown a tea bag into the cup, okay? So you put them on the shelf, you step back, I don't know, 5 or 6 paces, but you've got to throw it, not like that, not underarm, you've got to throw it behind your back with your hand, throw it up and over into the cup. Very complex. And we had a little wager last week as well. I don't usually do wagers on it, it's usually just for fun. But I won, it's £5, first person gets it in, £5, and then we did double quits, and I won again. So I had a free lunch on our ride out. John bought me a boar burger, very nice. I'll get to the questions in a minute, I'll scroll back up. So do that little activity. I encourage you to do that because it'll do your head in. Anyway, that's why we were late to the ride out. Just to explain, so we were about 5 minutes late, should have been there at 11. So it's not, it is, even though it's called the Speedy Feet Meet, this is just the name of it. It is not affiliated with Speedy Feet directly, because you're your own responsibility. Places we go are just off-piste, essentially. So as some of them will tell you, if they look in the comments, I presume some people will jump on and then say what fun it was, and also how challenging it was. So we did a 14.2 mile gentle ride, which was nice, not circuit. It was really nice. We had something to eat for lunch, carried on round, did about another 3 or 4 miles, came in, and then afterwards everyone was asked, would you like to go out and do the hard route? It was thumbs up from everyone, and everyone had enough battery power, etc. And then we set off and did a real challenging extreme route, which there was lots of falls and lots of shouts of foot plates. Right, so what do we got go here? Let me have a look. So let me just scroll down. Hi all, I just finished a 45-kilometer ride on a KS18L. What a wonderful wheel. Review soon. Yes, we will do a review soon. But phones are ringing. No one there to answer them. What was I going to say? Yes, there will be a review, but we've sold all our models, including the model we put aside for a demo. So that might wait another week or two, possibly, but there'll be a full-on review like the M Super X review. And we've got more to do with the M Super X as well. We haven't finished with that yet. So we got what I was talking about, the mileage, but we also want to show you guys what it can do up steep inclines, declines, agility through cones and things like that. We do all that sort of stuff. So, hey bro, I want to get an EUC and have a limited cache. Just going back, just seeing above, they rip very easily. The side pads do, but I maintain that's because they are sat up too high by about that much. So the top lip actually will rip off. And I've done that on one side, but not from riding it, just from lobbing it in the back when we're transporting something in the back of a van. So there you go. Yeah, I think they should just remove the side pads. I don't think you really need them. You shouldn't be pushing in that hard to the side pads, to be fair. Hey bro, I want to get an EUC and have limited cash. However, I can get an Airwell X5 for a reasonable price to start with. Is it worth getting? Well, we had this question, a similar one last week, to do with the cheaper wheels, the entry wheels. Now, some people will get, oh, someone else has as well. Ding, 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 little kettlebell. So the cheap ones are okay, but obviously you've got to remember, if it is real cheap, it's worth doing. So if you're paying £100, $150, that sort of thing, then yes, go for it, and you can smash it about, you can have a bit of fun on it, but just know that you're buying that really to do the damage to it when you're first learning, and then you'll need to upgrade. You definitely need to upgrade from a real cheap wheel. So yeah, and get a single wheel, don't get one with double wheels and things like that. Just go straight to single wheel and hit it hard. So if it's a reasonable price and you're on a limited budget, you've got no choice, have you? You have to do it. I wouldn't say, well, don't bother riding an electric unicycle. Definitely get into it, and if the only way you can get into it is to have a tiny little wheel with hardly any range, hardly any power, that you can tootle around on, which means just going around slow, that's fine. Then do it. Don't miss out. £145. So 145 quid, if it's brand new, 145 quid, is going to get you the basic of wheels. But again, don't let that put you off. If all you've got then get into it, just ride it and do the best you can. We used to do motorcycle trials, and one of the things we noticed there was if you're a really good rider, you can almost ride any piece of junk, essentially, and still gain fun from it. It's not necessarily a machine that defines you as a rider, so you need to keep that in mind. You will have limitations, such as power, so you can't be able to go steep hills, and you won't be able to go very far. There's things like that you cannot overcome, but general basic riding skills you can do on a cheap machine. So there we go, I'm just trying to whiz through all these for you. The live show looks like a kung fu movie, a little bit laggy with sound. Depends where you get the movie from, I suppose, if you rip it off. Can't do anything about that, just explained. Lots of money going into this, not set up, rushed around for an hour, try to get it to work. It doesn't work due to some weird little error. Hey, and did you see my 18L battery issue? We only charged 76% and 77.78 volts, 78 volts, sorry. Took side off, disconnected one battery at a time and charged them. Both batteries went to 84 and 100%. No, I didn't see that at all. Not had any feedback on that regard either, from feedback from customers that have bought. So keep an eye out for it. An interesting one, isn't it? But you've resolved it by the looks of it. You haven't just got the problem. You've got the problem and then resolved it. Have you done subsequent charges and then it works absolutely fine? So has it worked fine ever since? That would be interesting to see. What's the top speed for the MCM5? I thought you were going to get 100 volt M Super X. You're going to special order it or something, Davey, or are you not doing that? And so, for instance, I don't know what top speed of MCM5 is because I haven't tested it. We haven't done the video review. It is brand spanking new, just sat here waiting for that review. But so we'll see. We'll see where that goes, basically. But we will do a test on that and we'll have a video. Mario is starting, I think, in a week's time. He'll be a full-time guy for doing the videos, and that's when we'll have more time. Let's just turn that volume down so we don't get any more of those interruptions. No, it's used. Andy Drew, FPV, that's fine then. We've been through that, so that's cool. Yeah, you'll be alright on that. I'm thinking to get my ACM PCP12 MOSFET. Upgrade ACM to M Super X, worth it? Yes, I would have said so, depending on your criteria. It's never a straightforward answer, is it? Are you doing any off-road or anything like that? Because that extra big tyre will make a huge difference. So just let me know, Clifford, if you're actually going to be doing off-road or any trails, anything like that. Let me know, and we can answer that question a bit better for you. Because if you're just riding on the streets in a city, and you're in congested traffic, things like that, all those sorts of things, nice and slick and smooth, then the advantage of the M Super X would be the larger wheel. I mean, that thing is lovely and it's quieter. Flatland, Netherlands, oh brilliant. So yeah, if you're not touching off-road at all, then you're going to lose an advantage of having a bigger, thicker tyre-walled wheel. It's a real nice motor in that. It really is. And the tyre's nice, the tyre walls you might have seen in the video review. If anyone's watching haven't seen the M Super X review, right click, open new tab, M Super X review on the Speedy channel. Go and check it out. If you're happy with your ACM2, then I would stick with that, unless you really want an inbuilt trolley handle and you want the funky lights front and back and you want a quieter motor and you want to do some off-roading, then those are all things that you could look in its favour. But the big spend and big outlay to upgrade from ACM2 to the M Super, if you call it an upgrade, probably not worth it. If you want to start touching all those things like going off-road and things like that, then definitely go for it. Real nice machine. But yeah, and if you've got loads of spare cash, then buy both. Do that. Have the ACM2 for certain scenarios, inner city riding and on tarmac, and then go, right now I want to go off-road and get the M Super X and off you go. So yeah, do that. Let me get this MCM5 down. If I can actually get out there smashing everything up. Let's remove this one so you guys can see the counter. Got to see the counter. The interesting thing with this, the trolley handle. Trolley handle? No. Where you lift it, I mean, is with the trolley handle. And it's this side. So there is no opening that side. So you can only lift it from one side, which is interesting. I can't say too much until I do the video review. Otherwise I'll spoil the video review. And that would be lame. Let's put the cover back over that. The noise you can hear is me putting the cover on. I'm babying it. There we are. Right, Duff is in the comments section because he has been commenting. And he's going to send me black versions of this, the push fit. Talked about it last week. But hit him up if you want some of these made. Obviously, pay him for them, and a bit on top as a tip. Right, Sling Studio, that's going down there for now. Trying not to break it. Okay, counter is in. It's for... Hey, so we've got 5,488 subscribers on YouTube now, so that is a big improvement from last week. That's good. That is going up. We're going to hit 6,000 before long. I'm just going through all the voice messages you haven't sent me. Right, let's have a little look. Come. Hey, Duff, make this into an iPad stand as well. Oh, it does. It works. Don't really want to stick an iPad Pro on there, do you? And I might just tell you what. Oh, I tell you what though, I was about to say, spoke too soon. You need some little hooks on here and a little accessory, eh? I'm onto something here, aren't I? So put that in there. You can have a. You probably won't get a wheel on there at the same time, but you know, I can have that there. If I don't knock it, it's gonna be all right. There we go. Sorted. That's good. So good afternoon. Hi Joel, how you doing? You're still the only message Joel in the Anchor app. Anyone watching this hasn't got the Anchor app, download it and then leave us a voice message. Now I already know that people don't like leaving voice messages. I've got that message, but join in. Come on, we want to hear your voices. I figured out how to fix the iPad Pro stand issue. Here we go. Look at this. It's going to be superb. Stick that there. Lovely. Oh. Perfect. Job done. Excellent. Oh, and the Anchor app is worth it for a podcast, but if you're watching this, you probably don't want to listen to it again. But this audio from this podcast gets ripped off, put into the Anchor app, and then it's spread over Spotify and all these sorts of other places where you can get podcasts from. Flip the stand over, then it'll work. Will it? Nah. Okay, what's up with your 18L review? Well, 18L review, mentioned that previously in this live stream. That is coming up, but in probably a couple of weeks' time. So, yes, that's true. So, if you want to leave a voice message, oh no, I've stuck it down and now I need to actually, there we go. So, is this Joe again? Is this a new voice message? Not Joe, Joel, sorry. What am I on about? I can't read properly. Flip it round. It will kind of work like that. That's upside down. That's not going to work, is it? No. What are you on about, Rich? I'm either being stupid here or you are. That's the only way, polite way of saying that. Right, I wanted it around this way. Let's put that there. Man, oh man, this has turned into how to make an iPad stand out of a... I suppose it's vaguely electric unicycle related. Here we go. Put that, so a bit of black strip on there, and then put that on there, and then hit up Duff for your iPad stand and electric unicycle stands. There we go. Don't slip out. Right, let's have another look. What we got going on here? Profile, let's come away from that. Create. So we should have voice messages. Oh yes, Joel has sent another message. So this is actually an official... We have got someone on here. New message. This is brilliant. Oh, here we go. Ready? This is. I mean, we've got to stand back. Just get ready for this. We almost need a drum roll, but I don't dare do the drum roll because the iPad will fall off the Duff stand. Here we go. Ready? So this is a message that someone has left on the Anchor app. Now, Joel, to be fair to him, is the only person that's left one before as well. No one else has left a voice message. Now, if you're going to send voice messages, make them sensible and related to the topic. Let's have a look. Here we go. All right. The last one he sent was about curb hopping. This time, he's just trying to create content, to make it informative. Show. Fair play to you. Here we go. Chef buddy.
Hello again, Ian. Something that's been on my mind recently are cutouts. That's where you're going along and without any warning, without any beeping of any kind, your machine just cuts out. So it hasn't ever happened to me, but if I'm using, for example, my Kingsong KS16S, and I'm just going, like a maximum of 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers an hour, is it reasonable to expect to faceplant any second? Is this something that I should be worried about? It's been coming up in some Facebook groups recently that I've been following. I think most recently the Kingsong group. And the more that I think about it, it's a little bit just scary, the fact that any second I could be face planting on the cement. So in what circumstances does this happen? Is it only when you're going really fast, pushing the machine to its limits, or is it something that just happens randomly on any model that you might be using? Thanks for everything, and keep up the great work. Ciao.
Brilliant. See, that's what we need. We need people, that is what you need. You need that sort of question. Imagine typing that out. A lot easier to say it, isn't it? Probably have to record that 5 times to get it right. But, so that question is an interesting one. So cutouts, the thing is, we've been in this game now for quite some time, considering the length of time they've been out. So we started out as Ninebot, brought their Ninebot 1 out. And that is when we got into it. It's just before, when they brought the Elite out, we then wrote to them and said, are you going to ever bring out a single-wheeled thing of this type of thing? You didn't know what it's going to be called then, did we? And they said, hold your horses, because in about 3 months' time, we're going to have a machine out. And they sent me a picture of the Ninebot 1. I was like, oh, that is amazing. So, in those days, so we get to see a trend of what's happening here, which is quite good, and in a fully informed thing. Like some people say King songs are, let's try and use a polite word, are terrible. Gotway is terrible. Ninebot's terrible. You hear it, or you see it over forums and over groups. And actually you can look at that and think, well, this is how many we've dealt with, and you get some idea of the issues that they all have, and how frequent they are, and also the important thing is context of why those things happen. Which is pretty important, and that leads me on to the issue with the board failing. So if I try and remember always as on the fly doing it live, you could have a component fail in the board, any component within that board, because it's an electronic item, it could fail. Our experience is that it's incredibly rare to have a component just fail for no apparent reason whatsoever. So you're just riding along, and boom, shuts off, and you face plant. On the face planting note, you will seriously injure yourself at around about 15 miles an hour if you're wearing no protection at all. So at that point, you're going to start getting into the region of brakes and things if you face plant straight into concrete. There's different types of failures as well. If a MOSFET goes, depending on how many MOSFETs you got on your board, in regards to, for example, the Ninebot 1, if a MOSFET goes on that, it tends to you just face plant. With the Gotway Monster, if a MOSFET goes on that, it tends to go because it's got 12 of them. So you tend to get the 1 and 2 stutter, and you're like, shoot, something is going on here, and you're backing off, and then it might pop, 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 and then you fail. Typically, that's not always going to be the case. You could potentially just have a complete cut-off, but that is the experience that we've got. So it just depends. You can have different types of face plants. I had a massive crash on a V5F, which looks like that one there, from a faulty control board. And I got, well, the injuries are healing up now, but I was only going 12 miles an hour, and there was no runoff, there was no warning, there was nothing at all. The wheel was locked up, and I've been riding it for 5 years, and it just went bang, straight into the ground, and I slid. So I hit the ground like that and slid along. So I cut up all up here, proper hit. It was a big job, that one was. And this wrist still not quite right. Now, because I was only going 12 miles an hour, and I was actually testing it for a customer, had the iPhone out, I was looking at the readouts and the stats, and everything was all good, no overheating, nothing at all. Got to 3 miles, thought, that's enough, sweet, this is all good. Off I go back to the warehouse, and it cuts off. And so I go down the floor, without a second. All I knew about it was I was sliding along, I was like, oh man, and I just hoped I hadn't broken anything. So, I'm trying to give you a very rounded answer to this question. My advice, in short, would be to ride at all times imagining that your wheel could suddenly shut off. Now, do that in your back of your mind and don't keep focusing on your riding. Enjoy your riding, but accept the fact that if you ride fast and something goes wrong, you've got no real buffer. You are going to hit the ground. And when you hit the ground, the faster you're going, the more it's going to hurt. Now, should you be worried that something's going to go? Not typically. So if you can, the only way you can sort of quantify this is to say what usually causes a cutout. Now, when we first started selling Ninebots, we actually had a customer that blew a board, didn't front up the information initially, but we thought, that's strange how he's blown that board. And it turns out he was actually on the wheel, on the Ninebot 1, pushing against a wall, and then pushing forward as hard as he could to see with the app on the floor, looking at the app, see how much wattage he could get out of the motor. That will blow a board. That indicates to you that the more you push a wheel up to its maximum capacity, the more likely you are to have a board failure. So in answer to your question, Joel, if you're going really, really fast, if you went up the KN16S but you're going 20 miles an hour, which is ridiculously quick. If you had a cutout at that speed, you're going to get yourself seriously injured. But if you were, it's nowhere near its maximum. So it's got a big buffer. You've just reduced the likelihood of having a catastrophic failure. If something failed at that point, it's usually going to be hitting your foot plate, or you're going to hit something and come off, which is less catastrophic than face planting. And the only one is a tiny little small percentage of risk that a component just fails for the sake of it. Most units now have got multiple batteries in it, which helps. So single battery units, if they have a drop in voltage, the firmware tends to look at it and go, oh, there's no power, and it just shuts off. Now that might not be a board failure, it's a battery failure, so the wheel keeps rolling a tiny little bit as you tip off, so it's not as catastrophic as a board failure. So MOSFETs are the most common thing to fail on a board. You get puff of black smoke and all this sort of business. We've had capacitors go before and things like that. But MOSFETs blowing, real common, it's common across all brands, but it's getting less common. That has definitely gone, so if you had a graph, it's been going like this. So wheel speeds go up, wheel power goes up, and MOSFETs burning out are going down. So it's only then if you start stressing the machine out, bringing that to its maximums, which could be speed, power output, which the two don't have to be combined, because you could push against a wall and be going 0 miles an hour and blow it. But not only that, you've got heat. So when we had the 1,000 miler, you'll find that going up massive steep hills, we were zigzagging to try and bring down, because we had to obviously make the journey, bring down the heat on the machine. And then we had to sometimes rest the machines to make sure we didn't blow the boards. But you also get that going downhill. So the braking of going downhill generates a lot of heat, and it's not bringing through the wheel spinning. It's not bringing enough cooling over the board. So you can blow MOSFETs like that. So you've got to watch temperature, maintain your machine. So if you've been riding for an hour and you've been riding at 25 miles an hour, say, it's going to be hot. But we noted the Monster, for instance, at higher speeds is cooler. So pushing it for an hour, we found it was at 30C the board, which is the coolest we'd ever seen it. So with that, but the motor on the Monster has got it's got spokes which are fin shaped, and it actually pushes air over the board. And the faster, of course, it goes like a fan, it cools the board more, so it's less stressed. So small wheels at high speeds and low power output, high risk of face plant if you want to push it to its maximum, because your buffer is so much smaller. The bigger the wheel, the more power. And the more batteries it has in terms of cells. So the Monster has 3, it's got 2 one side and 1 the other, and then a board. You've got much less chance of a cutout, and even if you do have a cutout, you tend to get a bit of a warning before it all goes south. So I hope that sounds, it's a very long answer to the question, but basically if you take things up to the maximum, like anything out there, you're more likely to have a failure. So stick a buffer in there. You know how fast the machine should go. Look at your power output, your motor, and try and stick to that. So, and let me just scroll back. If that doesn't answer the question, let me know. Have a look. For every voicemail Ian gets today, I'll donate €5 up to €50 to feed starving kids. This Share Your Meal app I've got, UNICEF, I think. Brilliant. If that's actually genuine, that is brilliant. So someone leave anchor messages. And Joel will donate €5 for every message on this show. Today, Joel will donate a £5 to charity. So do that. Yep. There we go, recorded it 4 times to be fair. I said it recorded about 5 times. You can't go 12 miles per hour on an MSX. You can, for anyone listening and watching, you can go 12 miles an hour, you can go 10 miles an hour. But it depends if you want to risk it. So yeah, if you want to risk it, do it. It's entirely up to you. I'm not going to stop you doing it, because I can't. But you open yourselves up to big accidents. And as a general rule, all the people you see on these videos flying along at 30 miles an hour, they've never had a big accident. And if they have, they've got screw loose. And especially if they're not wearing any, unless they're fully kitted up with full protection on, that's a different thing altogether, isn't it? But if you're still just wearing a little cap and you're going off at that speed and you've had an accident already, then you just bit that. Hey, cling, 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 cling. There we go. Then yeah, you're just a bit mad. So crashing out on a V5, one of the smallest wheels I've ever ridden, well, apart from the M103, but low power, but just testing for a customer, wasn't that wheel by the way, testing for a customer, that gave me serious injury. Got it. Yeah. If you just make some little hooks to come off there, we're all good. That was, when I came off that V5F, that was at 12 miles an hour, and that was a serious But I was wearing no protection, so because I was going so slow and I wasn't doing anything risky. But V10F has backup board. Not to my knowledge. No, it does not. Not to my knowledge. How common? Well, yeah. So there's a stat that we used to keep a real in terms of board failure. We used to keep some sort of tracker watching what failed. It used to be that you would have a 10% failure rate. And that was like flipping out, 10%. That's huge. But of that 10%, about 1% was just because of a failure in the board as a component. Just failed. They were doing nothing at all that was going to cause a problem. So it's worth bearing that in mind. Of the failures, the context is ridiculously important. Now, if someone has a failure, they're not quick to blame themselves, usually. Fair play to the people that are. They're usually quick to say, oh, it's a failure, I should never have done that. I should be able to go 40 miles an hour, and I should be able to go 40 miles an hour on the flat and suddenly go up a real steep hill and it shouldn't blow. It's just not reality, sadly. It'd be great if it was, wouldn't it? But that's just not reality. And so what you have is you have a lot of people not admitting that's what happened. So you get it, for instance, you could be going, so I've blown an M Superboard by riding along the seafront and hopped off that high into some sand and I blew the board. And I learned the lesson then, very expensive lesson, don't do that, that's just stupid. I didn't go to Gotway and said, oh, it just went, it just went. I knew exactly what happened. I jumped into some sand, the wheel got jammed in and of course it just overpowered it. So there you go. You could be riding along flat, like I explained, and then you suddenly go uphill, and you've got to expect, unless you're riding a real powerful wheel, so about 2,000 watts kind of thing of power, you've got to expect, especially if you're going fast along flat, and you suddenly go up an incline, you've got to remember that incline is going to require huge amounts of more power to maintain the same speed. So you've got to keep that in mind. You can't just expect to hit it and keep going the same speed. It's just not going to happen unless you've got a really, really powerful wheel. Same as if you go into mud. So if you're riding along, you suddenly go off the path and into some mud, extra power is required. And if you're already maxed out, you're going to blow a board or cut out or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Look after it. So someone, let's have a look. Ian, when one MOSFET fails, the wheel blocks directly. Another MOSFET doesn't change a thing. Might be in your instance first. Someone else popped in on your monster first. No. So what happened here is one MOSFET went. We've got a video documented evidence of the failure and how it happened on my monster on a 1,000 miler, and one MOSFET blew, and we rode the whole day with a blown MOSFET. The following day, and we got this on. We got both of them on video. Another MOSFET went, followed within seconds, as in like a second. The second, third, and fourth, and the wheel stuttered and conked out. That's exactly what happened on my monster. So it went, one MOSFET's failed. We carried on for the day. And then the next day, when we set it back out, we started up a steep hill, it went pop, 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 and then the whole lot went. And we lost about 4 or 5 MOSFETs were burnt out. Let's have a quick look. What temp are wheels likely to overheat? Well, we had the monsters up to 80 C, which is flipping hot, just over 80 C. And we rested them at that. We wouldn't push them. That wasn't a going thing. That was like, oh my goodness, they've got to 80, we've got to stop. So we were stopping at about 70. To pull in and just let them cool down. And to cool down, what you have to do is actually turn them off, because if you sit them standing by, obviously they're still balancing, still taking up energy, but not getting any cooling because the wheel's not spinning. Is it also incredibly hot in the UK? 35 C. Oh wow, okay. Eastern helps a bit surviving the heat. Glad 18L didn't overheat. Yeah, it is. It's so today's not so much so. It's about 20 C, but it has been up to 30s. Yeah, which is crazy. The charity offer is genuine. We'll email proof for you to show on the next show. Right, okie dokie. So, has anyone sent any messages in to help the small starving children? Because Joel will, no one sent a message in. So the Anchor app, download it. Joel, who's on the chat right now, will donate money to UNICEF for everybody that leaves a voicemail on the Anchor app. Download the Anchor app, ANCHOR. Find Speedy Feet, send us a direct message, we'll play it on the show. Good. So, let me have a look. No, V10F and Z10 do not have backup boards. New haircut, someone noticed. What is it? Usually only women notice haircuts. I don't know why that is. Marcus, you should get a star for that. I haven't got a star. But It's smart to help tilt back on with low speed. Yes, so a lot of people get their wheels and they just turn off the tilt back, turn off the alarms, and then they're going to have a serious accident eventually. Don't do that. Don't be one of them. So someone said, noob question, what's a MOSFET? Well, let me go have a look. Let's have a look. New question, what's a MOSFET? I will go and tell you what a MOSFET is. I'll try and do it from the iPhone, which has got limited camera sort of capabilities, but we'll try it. And I'll show you directly what a blown MOSFET looks like. Yeah, I'll go and get one. Just bear with me. I've got to squeeze through everything, not kick it all over. I gotta find one now. Got a massive board of them. Found one. I've sorted it. We got it. I'm back. I hope you weren't lonely. I've got to squeeze through and not kick all the camera equipment over. Okie dokie. Right, first things first. Oh, it's got CPU paste all over it. Right, so, look at that. So those are stickers. If anybody wants a sticker, when you place an order at Speedy Feet, say you want a sticker, just email in and say, I'd like a sticker. They got these made up. They are awesome. They are bumper stickers, so they're basically waterproof, so they should have a life of a couple of years. Stick them on your wheel. That's what they look like. Don't know if you can see them. Oh, it's basically the sticker version of a series of t-shirts we're doing, which you may have seen me riding with it on. John had one on the ride out we did as well. To ride is to be free. So we're going to do a whole series of these. If you want to buy this t-shirt, it is on the website, speedyfeet.co.uk, so go there and have a little look. The t-shirt's on there, and we make like £2 off each t-shirt, next to nothing. Hardly worth doing. We had to order £1,000 worth of t-shirts to get them down to the price they're up now. What a joke. But at the same time, we've got stickers made up, so stick them to your wheel, etc. If you want to buy a t-shirt and you want a free sticker, then just go and order a t-shirt and say you want a free sticker in an email, and we will lob one in. And a couple of other stickers. And a badge. You get a little Speedy Feet badge, which is the wheel logo at the same time. Right, MOSFETs. Let's just take all these bits off. This is off a customer's board we replaced. Oh yeah. Let me try and show you. So I've got to try and get it into the camera. Not sure I'm going to do this. But you want to know what they look like. Okay, here we go. So, where are we? These are MOSFETs here, you see? And that one's blown. So you can see this is all good here. These are all good. Well, relatively. They might be on the way out, but this is actually blown. So you can see here that it's melted and you get a black residue puff out. And sometimes it's worse than that, the whole thing goes black. But that's a MOSFET. That's what they look like. Pretty much. You get some slight variations of it. But that's what they look like, and that's what a blown one looks like. So you've seen both. How brilliant is that? You get to know what it looks like. Now if that goes, you're off. But usually, because of overpowering it. So you can get situations where you're not going fast, but you overpower the wheel. So you might jump straight on it and lean forward, and that could cut it out. Depending again on the power of your wheel. Let me just put that down there. Get rid of that. So, yeah. Right, where are we? Why is there no sticker on the background with the sign Speedy Feet? Why is there no sticker on the background with the sign Speedy Feet? What, one of these stickers? You think one of those should be on there? I'm not ruining that sign with one of these stickers. We'll get it off. That's the trouble. Leave a residue. Is it possible riding with blown MOSFETs without realising? No, not really, no. No, if your MOSFETs go, I say the only experience we've ever had with riding with a blown MOSFET is on the Monster. Might have been just a 1 in a million chance it all worked okay, but it was riding with a blown MOSFET. And then when the next one blew, I was, yeah, you can hear it really clearly. You can hear the first one blow the day before. So in that instance, I was riding, by the way, not knowing the blown MOSFET happened to be on camera. I was actually discussing when we were going up a steep hill. I said something to John. I said, "Did you just hear that?" And we're like, yeah, what? And we thought, oh, it's overheating. It acted really strange, and the foot plates dipped forward, so we pulled over and thought, oh yeah, it's a bit hot. But that was a coincidence. Anyway, so then the next day, yeah, blew it, and then it went boom. So that was our experience of, usually, yeah, no, so we've had blown MOSFETs before, or actually I think that's the only time I've ever had, it's the only time I've ever blown a board, I think. Because if you ride it with due care and attention, you tend to not, because remember, the only 1% are actual failures in terms of an electronic component just failing. You will know, if you're pushing it, you know that you're going to be risking it. And if it goes, you should know that that was about to go. So if you're really, really pushing a wheel, then yeah. My dream would be to have like a 5,000 watt motor, 6,000 watt motor, something can pick you up from lying down like that. At that point, you cannot possibly overpower the wheel by leaning forward. Then, because it would be ridiculously fast, they should limit it by firmware to no more than 30, 35 miles an hour, because that's just mental speed. So that's where it should be, where it can actually do 70 miles an hour. You've got so much buffer, there's not going to be a scenario where you overpower it, so the failure would have to be somewhere else. So that's what I want to see. And obviously, double boards, so redundancy built in, but that's yet to come. It'll happen one day, I suspect. There we go. So I think we've answered all those questions. Pretty sure. Let's just scroll back up. But who likes the new haircut? Do you like it? I mean, I have my haircut about once every 2 years, 3 years. It helps on impact. So if you've got more hair. New InMotion and 9-bot probably safest units. Yeah, so the V8 again. So we're going back up to the question I missed there. New InMotion and 9-bot probably safest units. In terms of our experience with units, yes. 9-bot, although saying that 9-bot 1, but then we've sold large volumes of 9-bot 1, so slightly skewed. We've sold a lot of V8s, and the V8s, very few issues. We've had, I think now we've had, it was none. I think we've had 2 issues, and they weren't board related, they were motor related. So yeah, that's it, which is scarce. It's almost it's almost unheard of. With the V8, and the V10s are supposed to be, apart from their initial release, which they seem to have messed up a little bit, yeah, they were brilliant. So happy haircut anniversary. Yeah. My hair a bit poofy. See, I love it. I love not cutting my hair, because every time I don't cut my hair, it saves me 20 quid or whatever. But no, it was time. It was accentuating the grey, shall we say. And apparently I look like Doc at Back to the Future, so. I like your test riding videos, but you need an external mic. It's hard to hear you when you are far away from the camera, and the volume level changes, which makes it less enjoyable to watch. Totally agree. That's why we invested around about £8,000 in camera equipment, which I keep harping on about. Mario is starting, not Marcus, that's your name. Mario's starting in a week's time. He's full-time guy, video guy. It'll all change. I keep saying it. I'll say it again. It's changing, and it's not as easy as it may appear. It's incredibly difficult to make a video whilst riding an electric unicycle. Quite difficult flying a drone whilst riding an electric unicycle, and then making it look like you're not actually flying a drone. And it's even more difficult to get the exposure right and the volume levels right, unless you've got headphones with you and all that sort of business, and then you hide those headphones every time you're filming. It is complex. So yeah, and that is why it's taken longer and longer and longer and longer to do the video reviews. So now the KS80 now, that will take probably 2 weeks to film, I should imagine. That M Super X took 5 days, I think 5 days to film. So yeah, incredibly difficult. It's not like we're stupid and we know these things. It's like a live feed, nowhere near where I want it. The quality's nowhere near where I want it. The mic's nowhere near where I want it. So, you know, we know this. And we spent a lot of time and money on it so far. But Mario is starting next week, or in about a week's time. And he is going to sort all that out. And he can devote, because all his time is just devoted to it. That will bring up the quality levels. But whereas he's literally doing it in spare time, these other reviews, it's like, quick, right, we've got 6 hours, and the weather happens to fall into play just right. You need all that going for you as well. So yeah. Can we have at least a week's notice for next ride out so I can book it if it work, unless it's on a Thursday or Friday? No, you cannot. So what happens, and I'll explain it again, Stephen, because I keep telling people, I never used to go to raves, but one thing I do know about raves, especially in the UK, I don't know if it was like this everywhere in the world, it will be very ambiguous to what was happening and where it's happening because they didn't want the police to go. So illegal raves, I'm talking. And so this is done on the same thing. What we cannot have is 30 people turn up, 100 people turn up. Just can't have that. When we went out the last ride out, go and watch the video on the Speedy Feet channel if you haven't. The last ride out video, so the first Speedy Feet meet we had, we needed small numbers. So we're going to announce it on the Wednesday, and that's your lot. So Wednesday and then Friday is where we're going to meet, and the following day. So it won't even be a Friday, it'll be the day before we actually do it. That is when we'll announce where we're meeting and kind of the generalities of it and the time you need to be there and where. So it'll always be the actual final details. There'll be notification of when it's going to be, the date, and the final details will be where. And that was just 24 hours notice on that front. So unicycle rave, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Unicycle rave. Yeah. Oh, if you haven't already, we've got a video on the Speedy Feet channel of us going to see a rave that was held in the forest. We went there on electric unicycles, so yeah, you could have gone there. So right, so the next ride will be announced, but it'll only be announced on a Wednesday, so we're not announcing it now. I actually know when it's going to be as well now, so but it'll only be done on the Wednesday before it's happening. What do you think about Gotway MCM5? Is it worth buying? It's a stonking wheel, yeah, it's a really good wheel. But wait until we do the review, and then you'll see. It's down here. It was at the start of this live stream, it's now put away. Yeah, you'll see. We'll do a video review on it. But it depends where you're going to be riding. Where do you want to ride? Again, it always falls back. People say, what's the best wheel? Is it worth doing this? Is it worth upgrading from this to X? It just depends on circumstance. So really got to consider what terrain you're riding on. So that includes on and off road and hills or not, and how far you want to go. Are you transporting it, as in lifting it up and putting it up in overhead lockers or underneath your seat? Are you doing that sort of thing? If so, you need to you need to sort of put it into context again what you want. Are glow sticks, Davey? Yes, there's lots of reviews, but we haven't done a review. So are glow sticks an optional extra for the ride out? Yes, you need everything. You need survival kits, you need flares, you need a full face helmet, body armour, if you're going to do the off-road route. So there'll always be a ride out which would be suitable pretty much for everyone, and we'll try and get it into a scenario where people with the smaller wheels can do it as well, as in range wise. And then we'll always have a hard hitting off-road course. Now if you haven't been, people will attest, the people that came last time will attest to how difficult the off-road is. A lot of people haven't even touched off-road on their wheel. It is ridiculously difficult, and there's a massive chance you're going to smash your wheel up, and possibly yourself. It is no joke when we call it the extreme route. It is really the extreme route, and you completely open, just like you are to a cut-off when you ride along, you're open to just totally obliterating your wheel, blowing a board, breaking your arm, anything like that. The extreme route is just an extreme route. It is actually extreme. There's no point doing it half-hearted, is there? Otherwise it doesn't become the extreme route, it becomes the half-hearted route. So, yeah. How do you dress for riding during the winter? Just my pants. Not really. So I got Alpine Stars motorcycle trousers. So I have a nice pair. I found Nike tracksuit bottoms. That's why you see me wearing them a lot, because they're real thick inside, they're real nice and warm. And I put motorcycle trousers at the top of them, Alpine style ones, real nice. They got one pocket as well. And then I just got I got it for a present. It's just a thick, like a puffer jacket almost, and that works really well. The wind doesn't get through. Get a bit of buffing going on. If it's real windy, it's like, oh yeah, all over the place. But yeah, yeah, that's how I do it. Yeah, and then I don't wear that if it's rain. I don't wear that thick puffer jacket. I just wear a waterproof coat. You should contact the Fully Charged YouTube channel. Do something with them. They are mostly about electric cars, but also about other electric vehicles. Can be good PR for you, Marcus. I have. I've got an electric car. So I've got a Renault Zoe, which is absolutely brilliant. Which is what this electric cars is what got me into the starting Speedy Feet, by the way. Absolutely amazing. Electric propulsion is the way forward for sure. Absolutely brilliant stuff. But yeah, no, I contacted Fully Charged because Robert lives near me. So he's not very far away at all. He's probably 20 miles away, something like that. And said I'm happy to come round. Didn't get an answer. And then I messaged again, I don't know, 6 months later, said happy to come round. show it all, absolute brilliant last mile commute type thing, you know, that sort of idea. No replies at all. So yeah, I got message off them when they wanted to sell a pitch to me at the Fully Charged live show. Suffice to say, I did not go. Let's just double check what we got going on. So if I go to messages, let me have another look. Yes, so I messaged on the 18th of the 5th, 2014. And then I didn't get a reply. And then I messaged again on the 16th of the 7th, 2015, and didn't get a reply. And then I messaged again on the 18th of the 7th, 2016, and didn't get a reply. So yeah, I'm not a man to beg, and I just can't be bothered. So yeah, okay, and that's direct PM, by the way, because we had contact prior to that. We first had contact when switched accounts now. Let's have a look. So first had contact in 2014. Yeah. So yeah, write to him and tell him. Say, oi, get in contact with this guy. He's right next to you, and he's happy to come over and show you the way. Might even get him on wheel. You never know. Or his son-in-law, I think it is, does the filming. Might be able to get him on a wheel. Is the Gotway ACM V2 okay to use in the wet, waterproof? It's not waterproof, it's okay to use in the rain and stuff. Yeah, there's loads of users out there using them in the rain, so you know. Oh, hello. It's not really ideal, is it? Yes, so okay to use the wet, yeah, rain's fine, don't throw it in a lake, that won't do it any good. Unless you crack it, of course. If you smash it up or whatever, then you're going to be in problems. You need to double check that you've actually got no water leaks coming in. But that's pretty much it. Yeah. So don't worry about it. Should be fine. Don't ride through massive thick streams with it. You know, real thick streams, high streams, thick water. You know what I'm on about. Let's have another look. Scroll back up and see if there's any other questions I didn't. Yeah, helmet and wrist guards minimum of 15 miles an hour. Yeah, you're right. I don't, so you should do. Definitely should do. So whenever I ride, to go back to that question again about wearing protection and the chances of cut off, I ride knowing full well that I am an idiot if I come off and hurt myself. Seriously hurt myself. It will be me because I'm an idiot. So have a little look. To the watt motor, and we'll limit at 25 M to the cut 40 miles per hour cut off. Yeah, the M Super X 40 miles per hour. We haven't done the speed test yet, but I did push the M Super X and I got it to 40 kilometers an hour. And that was you can tell if you listen to your wheel when you're riding it, you can tell what the motor's doing. And so you get to know when it's being pushed and when it's not, and you can react accordingly. So let's just double check to see if anyone. So Joel, just to be clear, if you download the Anchor app, he says for every voicemail Ian gets was a message through Anchor. What he means, today I'll donate €5 and up to €50 to feed starving kids in this Share Your Meal app I've got, which is UNICEF. So he's genuine. I don't think anyone's left me a message yet. Just do it for the sake of it. Even if it says, I want Joel to donate €5, you know, do that, and some kids, starving kids, have got €5. Go and do it. I'm refreshing it, no one's leaving messages on Anchor app. Do it, €5. Easy €5. Yeah, so I think that is all the questions. So we've got about 5 minutes left, and I've got to slam it home in a minute. I'm doing this essentially after work. Okay, here's now, will you test 9.1 Z6 Z10? Oh, interesting. No one's mentioned the Z10 until now. They've got sick of me moaning about the fact that people keep talking about Z10. That is an interesting question because we have got two Z10s. What was that? Somebody just clicked. We got 2 Z10s coming in for samples for us to do it. We had to pay for them, by the way. But they're coming in, and we will do a full-on review of them. But only Z10. So Z6 are only going to, in Europe, they're only going to bring, supposedly, when we last spoke, they're only going to bring one model in. So I think it's going to be the Z10. So that'll be good. So up in the ante, the first anchor message to come through is worth €20. So Joel is saying he will donate €20 to UNICEF to feed starving children if someone just leaves a message on Anchor. So someone leave a message on Anchor, he will donate €20 to charity. So someone do it. Someone leave a message. I'm going to leave a message. He hasn't stipulated that I can't leave a message. So I leave myself a message. I'm not going to do that. That's not fair, is it? That's not the game. It's not in the spirit of it. So someone leave a message on the Anchor app. Download the Anchor app, ANCHOR. Find Speedy Feet. Leave a message. He'll give 20 quid to charity. Well, €20 to charity. Will the price of the V8 come down after the release of the V10s, you think, or will it take a while? We won't be bringing the price down. No, we won't. I suppose eventually it'll have to come down, but not at the moment. That is it's well worth it. That wheel is well worth it. The V8 is a really, really good wheel. Wow, cut my hair short. You will look really good and more sophisticated. No, I will not be, because I had these stickers made up, and on these stickers and on the t-shirt, the chap on the front, I know it's more handsome, this guy, but that's me, and it's got long hair, so I can't, until those are all gone, then the hair stays. I used to have shaved hair. I really did. It was a level 1 trim, all cut off, and in retaliation now I'm growing my hair. I always grow it. I don't care. I just don't care what I look like. You can probably tell that. I spend little money on clothes and a lot of money on wheels. That's where my heart lies. Joel's saying I don't count. I can't do it. So I'm going to check the Anchor app. You know, we got 4 minutes left, just slightly left. We've got 3 minutes left. Someone leave a message. Anyone leave a message on the Anchor app, and I can play it on the show. And it could just say, Joel, please donate €20, and Joel will donate €20 to charity. So we're going to sit here and wait until that message. So someone do it. There's going to be someone watching it's going to download the Anchor app and say something. It'd be nice if you said something constructive, but if not, just say, Joel, please donate €20 to charity, and he'll do it. I don't know how to add you on the Anchor app. I sent you a link, Davey, last week, I think. So, but if you search Speedy Feet in the Anchor app, you will find us. If anyone else is struggling, let me know. But pretty sure, can I just search? I don't think I can. Podcast distribution. So the podcast is on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Castbox, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Stitcher. Profile. Create. Let's have another look. Listeners can send you questions. Do you know what? We have received the second person ever on the Anchor app to leave a message is Andy Drew FPV. Give that man a prize. Come on, Joel, get donating. Ready? Here we go. Let's put it close to the iPhone.
Hi Ian, another noob question. I've just seen a 9.1 C Plus for £240.
Gear best?
I guess I can upgrade to a better battery. Is that worth getting?
So tell me. There you go. So there we go. Someone's left a message. That's a brilliant question as well. You've actually put some thought into it. You have seen a 9.1 for £230, £240. I bet it was Gear Best. Was it Gear Best? Tell me. But anyway, you've left that message. When did you leave that message? You're still in it, are you, Andy? I don't know if you are, because I haven't seen you comment for a while. Let me know if you're still there. But anyway, you might watch this back anyway. Yes, Gear Best. There you go. Look, how do I know it was Gear Best? Now, I was just asking you to prove to me that it was Gear Best, so I'm not lying. That is a terrible idea to go and buy that C+. I know this because, as I say, we deal with a lot of wheels, and we've had customers ring us who have got that deal, thought, let's not buy for Speedy Feet because they're really expensive. Let's go to Gear Best. We went to Gear Best. We don't do C+ anymore, by the way. They went to Gear Best, got the unit, dead as a dodo. So it worked on arrival. When they went to go and charge it, it doesn't charge. Now, a sneaking suspicion of that would be C+ has not been produced probably for around about 3 years. So it means the batteries have been sat in there all that time and just not maintained. They've been sat on the shelf. So basically, you go as far as say it's old stock, it's old new stock that's just been sat there. So I would say avoid, because to upgrade and get a battery, you're going to be spending, well, from us, you spend 250 quid, something like that, for a battery, because they're ridiculously expensive to import correctly. So it's just not worth it. Don't bother. Don't bother. It is cheap. So if you wanted it for all the motor components and the control board, but it's still a C plus control board, remember. So you can put an E plus battery in it, or even a P battery, 340 watt hour, same voltage, but in the C plus. You've still got limitations of the C plus, the firmware, slightly slower speed, etc. So I wouldn't bother unless that's a great. It's a good wheel if it works. We've had experience with customers that it didn't work and got the exact same deal. Hence the reason I knew exactly where you were talking about. They're trying to shift old stock. We'll donate when stream ends. iOS stop stream when I multitask. Okay. Well, we've reached an hour, but thank you very much, Joel. We came up with the idea that to get someone to leave a message on Anchor, he would actually donate money. Thank you, Andy, for leaving a message, because one, it was a good message that you left, not just nonsense, and secondly, it made Joel donate €20 to charity. So brilliant. Another €10 for the next message. Let's make the donation worthwhile. So Joel is saying if someone else leaves you a message, he'll donate €10. He's spending some money on charity here, Joel. So let's have a little look, see if I can actually refresh this. Voice messages, so we've got that. I don't think we're going to get anyone else come on. I've got a couple of minutes left. If someone wants to get Joel to donate to charity, now is your time to do it, so I'll leave that on. 2-year warranty from Speedy, so bought from him. Thank you very much, Stephen, for buying from us. That's brilliant. GearBest just stock Z6 and Z10. They may have done, but there is no, to be completely clear, there is no European release of the Z6 or the Z10. They're not EU compliant. They've got no CE certification on them. You import them, customs will say, please can we have the CE certification certificate? And not only that, certificates, and not only that, they want manufacturing spec sheets. You'll go and get those from 9bot. 9bot won't give you them because they say, what are you doing importing this Chinese import? You shouldn't be doing that. Who sold it you? Blah, blah, blah. And you go around in a circle and very likely you'll get it seized and destroyed. Or even if you do somehow by magic get it in, you've done that illegally. And even if you ignore that, if it goes wrong, you'll get no support anywhere at all. So wait until about Christmas time when an official release comes out directly from the source, yes. So I sent a message. Oh, someone else has sent a message. Okay, right, let's just come out of that. Yes, we've got another message. That's another €10. I'm going to stay on because this is a charity. So now 1 hour, 3 minutes. I should have gone. But here we go. So let's have a listen to this message.
Hello, I wonder if you prefer the Godway Tesla or the Kingston KS16S. And I think you should have a haircut.
I don't know if you heard that, but he said, which one do you prefer? The Gotway Tesla or the Kingston KS16S? And he thinks I should have a haircut. I've already had one haircut and this took 2 years to get to this stage. So anyway, Joel, donate another €10. That's it now. He spent €30 on charity. So thank you very much for all those people that logged in. Joel, we trust you. You don't have to go and prove that you're going to donate to charity. Of course you will. We know that. Thank you very much, Lucy Muffin. Excellent show as always. Thanks, Ian. So, which do I prefer out of those two? Better actually answer the question before I forget it. Oh man, that's put me on the spot massively. I think for the extra power, the Tesla, but for everything else, the KS16S, for sure. It's basically you've got. The Tesla's a 2000 watt motor versus the 1200 watts, so you get the extra beef, the extra grunt from the Tesla, which is good in certain situations. But then for the all-roundness of the KS16S, it's got to be the KS16S. So if I was to choose which one I was going to take out in any environment, it would be the KS16S. If you're doing a massive long haul or you're a lot of hill climbing, then it would be the Tesla because of the extra power. But there we go. So let me just have a quick look. Let me have a look. Has anyone else left a message? Because Davey's saying he left a message, but I haven't got it, I don't think. Voice messages. No, so we've only got the two. I'm going to have to end now. We've gone 5 minutes over. Thank you very, very much for everyone that's tuned in. We've got constant chat going on. People leaving voice messages if they're actually paid to do so. Brilliant. I should start paying people to leave content on it. But this has been going up as well. So that's going up. So anybody, and we've got to sort this sun out that's now coming through the window. It's not fully blocked off and soundproof yet. But if you haven't already, share the Speedy Feet page. Get people we have Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. Share those around. Get people to subscribe, follow, and also the YouTube channel. Share the videos. Go and like them, subscribe to them, hit the notification bell, and get other people to as well. And join in. Let's get as many people as we can on these chats, talking about everything EUC, etc. So thank you very much, guys. I am now going to go and walk over there because we haven't set up this yet. Next week, this will be in, and hopefully we can have multiple cameras. Mwah! It's going to be really good. And hopefully we can do a live view outside. Duck behind this lamp here. Stop the sun coming in. We'll do a live outside if the signals all work and everything comes together. But say we do this basically in our spare time to create a show. So I shall see you guys later. Thank you very much all for tuning in. Love you all.
Bye.